Right now, your mind is lying to you. Not because it's evil, because it's untrained. It tells you, think more and you'll feel safe. So you think, and you think, and you think, and you still don't move. That is not intelligence. That is paralysis wearing the mask of responsibility. Your mind is not your ally, it's an untrained weapon pointed at you. It keeps whispering, think more and you'll be safe. So you replay, predict, and panic, yet you still don't move. That's not intelligence, that's fear wearing the mask of responsibility. In the next minutes, I will show you exactly how to break this loop. So when your mind starts spinning, you don't spiral, you command it. Before you even decide if you will stay, your mind is already doing it. It is judging this moment, predicting what I will say, comparing it to what you've heard, searching for a shortcut, looking for certainty. And if you're honest, you can feel the cost. The tight chest, the restless eyes, the invisible pressure behind the forehead. You call it overthinking. But what you're really experiencing is a mind with no leader. A sharp blade without control cuts the hand that holds it. A fast mind without discipline drains the life of the person who owns it. And the tragedy is this: you have been treating your mind like a master when it was meant to be a servant. You follow every thought like it is a command. You obey every worry like it is a warning from the gods. You entertain every scenario like it is preparation. Then you wonder why you are exhausted even when you did nothing. Listen closely. You do not destroy overthinking by thinking about overthinking. You destroy it by changing the relationship between you and your thoughts through practice, through structure, through command. And I will tell you something uncomfortable. Most people don't actually want to end overthinking. They want to keep overthinking, but without the pain. They want the illusion of control without the discipline of control. That is like wanting a strong body without training. It does not exist. So if you stay here, don't stay as a spectator. Stay like a student. Because what I'm about to give you is not motivation. It is a method. And a method only works for the one who applies it. Let me begin with what you keep ignoring. Your mind is loud because your body is weak, not weak in muscles, weak in stability. Your posture collapses. Your breath rises into the chest. Your shoulders climb. Your jaw locks. Your eyes stare into a small screen like a hungry animal. Your nervous system reads this as danger. And when the body believes it is in danger, the mind becomes a factory of what if? So the first way to destroy overthinking is to return to the body before you return to the story. Right now, do it with me. Don't change anything dramatic. Just notice your feet. Are they really grounded or are they floating? Feel the contact with the floor. Let your toes spread. Let your knees unlock. Lift your spine gently like a thread pulling from the crown of your head. Relax your shoulders down and back. Unclench your jaw. Place one hand under your navel and breathe into that hand slow. Quiet. Real. You see, even as you do this, the mind loses fuel because overthinking feeds on tension. Tension is gasoline. Relaxation is water. Your mind does not need more information. Your nervous system needs more safety. Make this a rule. No problem solving while your body is in alarm. Because when the body is in alarm, the mind is not thinking, it is defending. And defense is always dramatic. Defense exaggerates. Defense assumes the worst. Defense makes a small email feel like a life or death event. Defense turns one mistake into a prophecy of failure. So when you catch yourself spiraling, replaying conversations, predicting disasters, building 10 versions of a future that does not exist, don't argue with your thoughts. Drop into your body. You do not need to win the argument. You need to exit the battlefield. 60 seconds is enough to interrupt the loop if you do it properly. 60 seconds of deliberate breathing. 60 seconds of a strong stance. 60 seconds of slow, controlled movement, shoulder circles, neck release, a few deep squats, a walk with awareness in the feet. Your body is the anchor. Your body is the present. Your body is truth. Thoughts can lie. The body cannot. And if you think this is too simple, understand simple is not easy. Simple means no excuses. Simple means you must actually do it. Now the mind will try to steal this away from you with one sentence. But my situation is different. Every mind says that. Your mind says it because it wants to protect the habit. Overthinking has become your comfort. It makes you feel responsible. It makes you feel like you are preparing. It makes you feel like you are doing something. But most of the time, you are not preparing. You are postponing. Which brings us to the second way. Overthinking is often avoidance wearing a suit. You avoid choosing because choosing creates risk. You avoid acting because action creates exposure. You avoid committing because commitment removes the fantasy of endless options. So you stay in the mind where everything is possible and nothing is real. Real life begins where you can be wrong. So the second way to destroy overthinking is to cut the loop with a decision deadline. Your mind loves open doors. It loves maybe. It loves later. It loves, I'll decide when I'm ready. And as long as the decision remains open, the mind will keep producing thoughts because it believes more thought will create certainty. But certainty is not a product of thinking. Certainty is a product of capability. So stop giving your mind endless space. Put your thinking into a container. I will think about this for 10 minutes. I will write down 3 options and choose before I stand up. I will ask for one piece of input and decide today. I will research for 20 minutes and then commit. Then you keep your word. This is the critical point. Your mind respects you only when you respect your own commands. If you set a deadline and break it, you teach your mind that you are weak. Then it takes over again. It starts negotiating. It starts delaying. It starts spinning. But if you consistently follow through, something changes. Your mind begins to offer clearer options because it learns that endless thinking is not rewarded. It learns that you will act anyway. And when the mind knows action is coming, it becomes practical. People ask, what if I choose wrong? Then you learn. That's it. You learn. Overthinking is the belief that you must avoid all mistakes. That belief will destroy your life because it trades growth for comfort. It trades movement for mental noise. So practice choosing. Start small. Choose what to eat without searching for the perfect answer. Choose what to wear without reopening the closet 10 times. Choose one task and finish it before switching. Choose one message and send it without rewriting it 20 times. You are training decisiveness like a muscle. And a decisive person has a quiet mind, not because nothing happens, but because they do not live in hesitation. Now the third way is where the real power begins, because it removes the most dangerous illusion, the illusion that you are your thoughts. A thought is not you. A thought is an event. But you have been living like every thought is your identity, your truth, your command. A thought appears, they don't respect me. You become it. A thought appears, I will fail. You become it. A thought appears, something is wrong. You become it. Then you suffer inside a story you did not choose. So the third way to destroy overthinking is to stop identifying with every thought and start observing thoughts like weather, not fighting them, not following them, observing them. When a thought arises, label it. Not the story, just the category. Worrying, planning, judging, comparing, remembering, imagining. Then return to the breath, return to the body, return to the task in front of you. This is how you create space between you and the thought. And in that space, you regain freedom. Overthinking needs fusion. It needs you glued to the thought. It needs you believing that the thought is urgent, important, true. But when you label it, you become the witness, and the witness is not trapped. At first, you will forget. You will be pulled into the loop. That is normal. Training is not never falling. Training is returning faster. So do not wait for a quiet day to train. Train in the storm. When you are in bed and the mind becomes a cinema label, return. When you are in a conversation and you start rehearsing what to say, label. Return. When you are scrolling and the mind starts comparing your life to others, label. Return. And here is a secret. Overthinking grows when you treat thoughts as emergencies. So stop treating them as emergencies. A thought can be loud and still be meaningless. A thought can be repeated and still be false. A thought can be emotional and still be a distraction. You do not obey a barking dog just because it barks. You do not obey a thought just because it screams. Now, the fourth way will expose your daily habits. Because you cannot claim you want peace while you feed your mind chaos every hour. You say you want to end overthinking, but you begin the day by pouring noise into your head, notifications, arguments, opinions, crisis, endless reels, endless comparison, endless stimulation. Then at night you ask, why can't I sleep? Why won't my mind shut up? Because you trained it not to. Attention is food. Your mind becomes what you consume. So the fourth way to destroy overthinking is to protect your attention like your life depends on it. Because it does. Your attention is the doorway to your mind. If you leave the door open, anything walks in. And once it is inside, it demands space. So you need rules, not wishes, rules. No phone for the first 30 minutes of the day, not because phones are evil, but because you are establishing who leads. If the first thing you do is react, your mind becomes reactive for the rest of the day. No phone for the last 30 minutes before sleep, because the mind carries the last inputs into the night. Set specific times to check messages. Check with intention. Then close it. Do not live like a dog waiting for the next bell. And clean your environment, because clutter is also noise. Every unfinished task in your sight is a tab open in your mind. Every messy corner whispers, not complete. Your mind is already overloaded. Don't surround it with reminders of incompletion. Finish something today, fully, one drawer, one folder, one message thread, one task. Completion is medicine. Completion tells the nervous system, we are safe, we are capable, we are done. Now, as you hear this, your mind might say, this is too strict. No, your life has been too loose. A mind without boundaries becomes a prison. A mind with boundaries becomes a blade. And boundaries are not punishment. Boundaries are compassion. A parent who loves a child gives structure. The mind is like a child, curious, impulsive, easily distracted. If you give it freedom without guidance, it will run into traffic. So give it guidance. Now we go to the fifth way, and this is the deepest root of overthinking. Overthinking is often not a thinking problem. It is a trust problem. You do not trust yourself. If you trusted yourself, you could face uncertainty without panic. If you trusted yourself, you could act without needing guarantees. If you trusted yourself, you could make a mistake without collapsing into shame. So the fifth way to destroy overthinking is to build self-trust. Trust through daily discipline, small, voluntary hardship, not suffering. Training. When you avoid discomfort, you teach yourself, I can't handle it. Then the mind tries to control everything to protect you. It becomes obsessed with planning, predicting, preventing. But when you voluntarily do hard things, you teach yourself, I can handle it. And when you know you can handle it, the mind relaxes. It stops spinning because it no longer needs to invent control. So choose one practice that is slightly uncomfortable and do it daily. Cold water at the end of the shower for 30 seconds. A walk when you don't feel like it. 20 minutes of training, push-ups, squats, stretching, running, anything. 5 minutes of sitting in silence without entertainment. Finishing one important task before you reward yourself. Speaking one honest sentence you keep postponing. Every time you keep a promise to yourself, you lay one brick of self-trust. And self-trust is the graveyard of overthinking. Because overthinking asks, what if I can't handle it? Self-trust answers, if it comes, I will handle it. Now, let me show you how these 5 ways work together in real life. Because your mind loves theory, but your life demands practice. Imagine you receive a message that triggers you. Immediately your mind starts. What did they mean? Are they upset? Did I do something wrong? Should I respond now? If I respond now, what should I say? If I wait, will it get worse? This is the loop. Step 1, body. You feel the tension. You breathe into the belly. You soften the shoulders. You ground the feet. Step 2, deadline. You give yourself 10 minutes. You write the facts. They wrote this sentence. I feel this reaction. I don't know their intent. Facts only. Step 3, observe. You label the thoughts, worrying, mind reading, catastrophizing. You return to breath. Step 4, attention. You do not scroll for comfort. You do not ask 5 people to analyze the message with you. You do not feed the drama. Step 5, self-trust. You choose the next action and do it. A simple response, or a decision to wait until a set time, and you keep your word. You see, overthinking is not destroyed by one magical sentence. It is destroyed by a new system of command. Now, there is another layer you must understand if you want this gone for good. Overthinking is a habit of living in the future or the past. The mind says, if I replay the past, I can fix it. You cannot. The mind says, if I simulate the future, I can avoid pain. You cannot. You can prepare, yes. But overthinking is not preparation. Overthinking is fear rehearsing suffering. So whenever you catch yourself stuck in past or future, ask one question that cuts through the fogs. What problem is real right now? Not possible, real. If the problem is real right now, act on it. If it is not real right now, return to what is. This is not denial. This is discipline. Your life is not lived in what if. Your life is lived in what is. And what is always here, breath. Posture, task, next step. Now, I want you to notice something else. Overthinking often grows strongest when you are alone, tired, hungry, or overstimulated. In those moments, your mind is not seeking truth. It is seeking relief. So don't only train when you feel strong. Train especially when you feel weak. When you are tired, do not negotiate with your mind. Reduce choices, simplify your world. Do the basics: eat, drink water, move, sleep. Many spirals are not philosophical. They are biological. Your mind might be screaming, my life is falling apart, when your body is simply depleted. So treat your body like a warrior treats his weapon. Maintain it. And another truth. Overthinking is often your attempt to avoid feeling. You try to think your way out of pain. You try to analyze your way out of sadness. You try to reason your way out of fear. But feelings are not solved by analysis. Feelings are processed by presence. So when you feel something heavy, instead of running into thought, go into sensation. Where is it in the body? Is it tight, hot, cold, heavy, sharp? Does it move if you breathe into it? Can you sit with it for 20 breaths without storytelling? When you stop fighting feelings, the mind stops producing endless commentary. The commentary exists to keep you away from the raw sensation. So be brave enough to feel. Feeling is temporary. Avoidance is endless. Now, the mind will still try to pull a trick. It will say, but if I stop overthinking, I will become careless. No. A trained mind is not careless. A trained mind is precise. There is a difference between deliberate thinking and compulsive thinking. Deliberate thinking has a purpose, a container, and a next action. Compulsive thinking has anxiety, endless loops, and no movement. So your goal is not to become mindless. Your goal is to become intentional. And intention is built through command. So here is a practice you can use anytime, anywhere, that ties everything together. When you feel the spiral starting, say this to yourself quietly. Stop, breathe. Stop, pause the behavior. Don't type, don't speak, don't scroll, don't react. Breathe, one slow inhale into the belly, longer exhale, 2 or 3 times. See, what is actually happening? What are the facts? What is the next right action? Then you act. Not after you feel perfect, not after you feel certain. You act as a leader, not as a mood, because moods are weather. Leaders move through weather. Now I will challenge you with something that separates people immediately. Most of your overthinking is not because life is complicated. It is because you have not chosen your values clearly. When you don't know what you stand for, every decision becomes heavy. Every option becomes confusing. Every opinion becomes dangerous. Because you are trying to please everyone and avoid everything. So you must choose what matters. What kind of person are you becoming? What do you refuse to compromise? What habits are non-negotiable? What is your standard? When your standards are clear, decisions become simple. Not easy, simple. If health matters, you train even when the mind argues. If honesty matters, you speak even when it's uncomfortable. If discipline matters, you do the basics even when you don't feel like it. A clear standard is a sword that cuts through mental fog. And when you don't have standards, you will overthink because you are trying to find a perfect path in a world that does not offer one. Now, I want you to see the cost of overthinking in your life, not in theory, specifically. How many opportunities did you delay because you wanted the perfect timing? How many relationships did you weaken because you replayed everything instead of speaking one honest sentence? How many nights did you lose because you rehearsed problems instead of sleeping? How many days did you waste because you were preparing but never starting? Overthinking doesn't only make you anxious, it makes you late to your own life. So become ruthless with it, not angry ruthless. When you notice the loop, don't treat it like a spiritual moment. Treat it like a discipline moment. You wouldn't let a stranger walk into your home and start shouting. Why let a thought do it? And yes, thoughts will come. Thoughts will always come. Even a trained mind has thoughts. The difference is a trained mind does not get dragged. So when a thought says, "What if you fail?" you answer, "Then I learn." When it says, "What if they judge you?" you answer, "Then they judge." When it says, "What if it goes wrong?" you answer, "Then I adjust." Then you return to the next action, and you repeat, and you repeat, and you repeat. Training is repetition under resistance. That is why people stay stuck. They want a one-time solution for a daily habit. Overthinking is practiced every day by most people. Of course, it is strong. So you must practice it with discipline. Now let's make it even more practical. If you struggle with overthinking at night, here is your structure: 1 hour before sleep, no screens if possible. Dim the lights. Reduce stimulation. 10 minutes. Write down all unresolved thoughts as bullet points, not essays. Bullets. This tells the mind, I won't forget. Then write one next action for each bullet. If there is no action, write, no action today. Then 5 minutes of slow breathing. Inhale 4, exhale 6, or simply longer exhale than inhale. Then lie down and place attention on the weight of your body sinking into the bed. When thoughts arise, label, thinking, return to the weight. If you do this consistently, the mind learns a new ritual. It stops trying to solve life at midnight. If you struggle with overthinking during the day, use this. Every time you catch yourself looping, you do one physical reset: stand, breathe, walk, stretch. Then you ask, what is the next smallest action? Then you do it within 2 minutes. 2 minutes. Not because it finishes the whole problem, but because it breaks the spell of paralysis. The mind hates beginnings because beginnings create accountability. So you begin small, immediately, and when you begin, something else happens. Clarity appears after movement, not before. Most people wait for clarity to act. The trained person acts to create clarity. Now, one more truth you must swallow if you want freedom. Sometimes you overthink because you are addicted to control. You believe that if you can understand everything, you can prevent pain. But pain is part of life. Uncertainty is part of life. Loss is part of life. Change is part of life. So the question is not, how do I eliminate uncertainty? The question is, how do I become steady inside uncertainty? And the answer is training. A steady person does not need the world to be calm. To be calm, they bring calm. You bring calm through breath, posture, discipline, and decisive action. So don't chase a life with no triggers. That life does not exist. Build a mind that does not collapse when triggered. And if you want the simplest test to know if you are truly changing, it is this: when you feel the urge to overthink, do you move into action, or do you move into more thought? The moment you choose action, you win. Even if the action is small, even if your hands shake, even if your mind complains, you win because you are no longer a prisoner. So right now, as you sit there, don't promise yourself something big. Give yourself one command you can keep today. 1. Maybe it is, I will not touch my phone for 30 minutes after waking. Maybe it is, I will train for 20 minutes today. Maybe it is, when the loop starts, I will breathe 10 times into the belly. Maybe it is, I will decide within 10 minutes and take one action within 1 hour. Choose one and keep it. Because this is how it starts, not with inspiration, with obedience to your own word. Your mind will test you. It will say, it's not working. It will say, you missed one day, so you failed. It will say, it's pointless. That is just another thought. Label it doubting. Return to breath, return to action. And if you fall back into overthinking, you don't punish yourself. You return faster. Every return is a repetition. Every repetition is training. Every training builds command. So when the next wave comes, and it will, don't ask, how do I stop this forever? Ask, what is my practice right now? Feet, breath, deadline, label, next step. Then do it again, and again, and again. Because the day you stop being afraid of your own thoughts is the day your life becomes simple enough to move and strong enough to hold whatever comes next. And the moment you feel the spiral start, you will already be standing, rooted, breathing, seeing clearly, and your hands will reach for the next right action before the mind can finish its story, before it can build its theater, before it can trap you in tomorrow, as you move now and keep moving and keep moving, even while the noise still tries to follow you. You came here because you are tired of living inside your head. So step out, through your body, stand up, plant your feet, straighten your spine, relax your jaw. Put one hand on your lower belly and breathe like someone who is in control. Slow inhale, longer exhale. 10 breaths. Not to feel good, so you remember who leads. Now choose one thing you are overthinking. Only one. Write the facts in plain words. Not stories, not assumptions, not what-ifs, facts. Then give it a hard boundary, 10 minutes of thinking, one decision, one next action. The action must be real, a message sent, a call made, a task started, a page opened, shoes on, outside, movement. Something your mind cannot argue with. Your mind will still talk. Let it talk. A trained person does not require silence to act. A trained person acts while the noise exists. This is the difference. You are not here to eliminate thoughts. You are here to stop obeying every thought. From today, live by this rule: when the mind spins, the body anchors. When the fear speaks, you train. When the choice appears, you decide. And when you decide, you move. Do not chase peace. Build it, one disciplined action at a time.